Good afternoon, everyone. Our topic for today's Power BI Meetup is about Common Process Transform data. First, allow me to introduce myself. I am Hernan Elgarico, BI developer of InfoAlchemy. I have a certification in analyzing and visualizing data with Power BI 2019. I have 7 years experience as a BI lead developer and 6 years experience in implementing projects with Power BI. I have exposure to projects in multiple industries. I conducted solo and team projects for client consultancy. In this module, we will explore, understand, and learn about Overview, Power BI Editor, Common Data Transform functionality, Demo, and lastly, Q&A. So what is ETL? Stands for Extract, Transform, and Load. The process that data engineers use to extract data from different sources, transform the data into a usable and trusted resources, and load that data into the system end users can access and use downstream to solve business problems. For ETL process, extract. The first step of this process is extracting data from the target sources. Transforming the raw data that has been extracted from the sources into the format that can be used by different applications. Lastly is load. It's the process of writing converted data from a staging area to a target. Let's proceed to Power Query. It's a data transformation and data preparation engine. Comes with a graphical interface for getting data from sources, and a Power Query editor for applying transformations. Using Power Query, you can perform the extract, transform, and load process of data. Why should you use Power Query? First, different data source. Second, transform data easily. And last, it's real-time. For better reference, here's a diagram for a Power Query on the Power BI desktop. We have a data source that comes with a cloud, flat file, and databases. We can perform ETL process inside Power BI desktop. In the extract part, we can connect the data source using native connector inside Power BI desktop. Once connected, we'll proceed in Power Query or Power Query editor to perform transformations such as merge, convert, format, and more. After applying transformation to the data, the next part is to load it into visualizations. In the Power Query editor, there are 6 main areas in the editor to become familiar with. One is the ribbon. The user interface for the editor is quite like Excel, and it organizes data transformation commands and other Power Query options into 5 main tabs. 2. Query list. List of all queries in the current Power BI file, and you can navigate to any query from this area to begin editing it. Number 3. Data preview. This area is where you will see a preview of data with all the transformation steps currently applied. Number 4 is formula bar. This is where you can see and edit the M code of the current transformation step. 5 is properties. This is where you can name your query. 6 and last, applied steps. This area is a chronological list of all the transformation steps that have been applied to the data. In this module, we will explore, understand, and learn about import data, queries, column header, filter data, enter data, split column, custom column, append, merge, and lastly, query dependencies. Import data. Connect to data from multiple sources by starting Get Data in Power BI Desktop. Here's the list of all data sources supported. From File Category, Databases, Azure, and Online Services. Queries by importing data from a new source. You can manage and edit each query in the pane. For example, duplicate, grouping the queries, rename, and delete. You can manage the column or field by using first row as header, rename, reorder, choose, remove, and change data type. You may filter the data by column filter using keep rows or remove rows. If you want to create a tables or lookups without using Excel as the source, using enter data to create a table by typing or pasting a new content. You can add or edit the column, rows, and the table name. Split column. Separate elements of a column into a multiple columns. You have the options to use like by delimiter, by character, and by positions. For custom column, you may create a new column in the table based on a custom method using Power Query formulas. Append the query to another query in the file. Concatenate rows from two or more tables into a single table. Merge the query to another query in the file. Select two tables and match the column to merge the table. Query dependencies to view a dependency tree of all queries. Now let's proceed to our demo. Let's check our sample data. We have three files with different file type: Excel, CSV, and text. These all three is we need to load in the Power BI desktop to create visualizations. Now open the Power BI desktop and let's start import data via Home tab and Get Data. Once a Get Data window pop up, first, select Excel workbooks and click Connect in order to import or extract data. Locate and select the Excel file and click Open. Once a navigator window pop up, select all sheets from Excel workbooks and click Transform Data. Now the Power Query Editor is open and we have three queries from Excel file. Next step for the remaining two files, now click New Source, Get Data again, or this time select text/CSV and click Connect. Locate and select the CSV file and click Open. Again, New Source, and select text/CSV and click Connect. Lastly, select the text file and click Open. We already extract three files with 5 queries, for 3 queries in the Excel, and each one for text and CSV. Let's manage the queries. First, reorder. Click and hold drag the sales 2012 to the top, and next, Sales 2011 next to Sales 2012. Next, rename the Sales 2012 and also Sales 2011. You can disable the load process by right-clicking the Sales 2012 and unchecking Enable Load. Do the step for Sales 2011. Now we are done on the Manage query. Let's proceed to column header. Now, go and click Sales 2012. We'll check the column name of Sales 2012 versus the Sales 2011 to rename the unwanted column name. You will notice the column name in Sales 2011 literally stated column and number. To change that, click and rename the Sales 2011 column based on Sales 2012 column. We are done for renaming the column name in Sales 2011. As you can see, the renamed column added in applied steps. Then, we will check the column name of Sales 2012 and Sales 2011 if they match. Next, proceed to the customer table. As you can see, the column name is not set as default name. You may change it based on the file by using the Use First Row as header to adjust the first row and use it as a column name. Just go to Home tab and click the Use First Row as header. Now we are done. Next, let's proceed to another table, which is country groupings. For the last step, rename the column. For column 1 to country and column 2 to groupings. We're done with the column header transformation from Sales 2012, Sales 2011, Customer, and Country groupings. Our next step is to filter data. In country groupings, you will notice they have blank rows. To filter data, just go to the drop-down arrow icon from the country column, then uncheck the blank and click OK. Once we're done, the filtered rows is added to applied steps. As you can see, there is no blank rows inside country groupings. Next is Customer Table. Select and click the drop-down icon, then uncheck the A in the data and click OK. Now, we're done on the filtered data part. Next step is to create a table from the Power Query Editor. Just go to Home tab and click Enter Data. Now, the Create Table window has popped up. Let's start to input details. First, create sales channel code. Then in the first row, input D, second O, and third R. We're done to set sales channel code. Let's proceed to another column, which is sales channel. For the first row is direct, second, online, and third, retail. Then remove or delete the empty rows or column. Next is to set the table name into channel. Once we're done to set up a new table, then click OK. The channel table has been added in the queries pane. We may now proceed to split column. In the Sales 2012 table, as you can see, the column sales details have two parts, which is Customer ID and Customer Country. Same with Sales 2011. In a customer table, we need to remove the extra data in a column code using a split column. Lastly, the product name in the product table. Let's start in the sales 2012. Select the column sales details, then in the Home tab, select a split column and click by delimiter. One split column window pop up, set the delimiter into a custom value, then input the vertical pipe symbol and make sure the leftmost delimiter is thick. Then click OK. After applying the split column, you will notice the sales details have been split in two columns, which are the sales details.1 and the sales details.2. Then, rename the sales details.1 to customer ID and sales details.2 to customer country. Do the previous step into sales 2011. Next is customer table. Select the column code. Again, in the Home tab, select split column, then click by delimiter. One split column window pop up, set the delimiter into a custom value, then input the dash symbol, and make sure the leftmost delimiter is thick. Then click OK. After applying the split column, remove the code.1, then rename the code.2 into customer ID. Repeat the previous step for the product table, but this time for column product name. Rename the product name.1 into product name and product name.2 into product unit. We are done with split column. Next is to create a custom column. In Sales 2012, we have Sales Year, Sales Month, and Sales Day. In these three columns, we need to create a complete date value using a custom column. In order to create new column, just go to Add Column tab, then click the Custom column. In the Custom column pop-up, we have a new column name and custom formula to set. You can add or insert from the available columns. Also, you can learn about Power Query formula from here. Let's add the date function, then click the sales year, comma, sales month, comma, and sales day. Rename the column name into sales date. Then, click OK. Once we're done, you will see the end of the table has been added a new column which is sales date from the custom column. Repeat the previous step for 2011. Let's proceed to append queries. In this case, we have Sales 2012 and Sales 2011 in a separate table. We need to combine two tables in a single table with column match to make it easy to use. Just go to Home tab in the Combine section, select Append Queries, then click Append Queries as New. the append window pop up. You have two options, first, from two tables, or three or more tables. In this case, we will choose three or more tables. After that, add the sales 2012 and sales 2011 into tables in append. Then click OK. Once done, let's check if the append queries are match of all columns for sales 2012 and sales 2011. You will notice the last column in the new table was not matched. In order to fix the mismatch, just go to sales 2012 and fix the column name. Once done, go back to the new table and then check if the column name has been fixed. Next, rename the new table as sales data. Next is to merge the two tables based on key. In this case, we will merge the channel table into sales data. Go to the Home tab and then in the Combine section, click Merge Queries. Once the Merge window pop up, you need to select the first table, which is sales data, and for the second table is channel. Then define and select the key. In this part is sales channel code. In the Join Kind section, leave the default setup. Next, you will see the match result based on the tables and key set. Then, click OK. After that, you need to expand the column channel by clicking Expand icon. Then, uncheck the Use Original Column Name as Prefix and Sales Channel Code. Since the sales data table already has that column. Then, click OK. Remove the sales channel code and rename the sales channel.1 into sales channel. Now, we have already applied the transformation step in all tables in the query list. Let's proceed to query dependencies. To check the end-to-end data process, go to View tab and click Query Dependencies. In this part, we will see the diagram of the transformation table up to end result. We are done to the transformation steps. Make sure the Sales 2012 and Sales 2011 has already unchecked the Enable Load. Now, we will proceed to load tables into the visualization part. To do that, just go to Home tab and click Close and Apply. Wait until the load window will disappear. We are done to our demo part. In Q&A section, if you have questions, feel free to ask in the chat box.